place to look back. What's kind of your thoughts on the first scrimmage from there?
Well, I thought we did some nice things. As much as anything, we had some good focus and good effort. Tackled well for the first scrimmage. I think we had 12 missed tackles and 90-something snaps. So that's a positive for a first scrimmage, especially as much as our offense creates space plays. You got to tackle well in space. What played well on third down, played well in the red zone. We did not play the run very well, and that was extremely disappointing. We gave up 5 big runs, and we gave up over 4 yards of carry for the entire scrimmage. So, extremely, concerned about that, especially in our league, And so, but overall, pleased with, some good hits and turnovers and tackles and those sort of things. I thought we communicated well. We kept it very simple as well as the offense did. And we just wanted to see the guys go play. And for the most part, being able to watch the tape and see some effort and some leadership and some things was very positive.
What can you do to deal with having problems stopping the run as far as practice goes?
See if you can't squeeze out 12 or 13 out there, I guess, But no, I mean, we are a very efficient running football team. Gus and those guys do an outstanding job creating issues in the run game, and we just 1 or 2 misfits with how we run the ball and how we formation you is very difficult, especially you create the tempo with it. So there's a reason why we've led the SEC in rushing since he's been here, and so we've got to do a better job of playing the run. It was more of a run fits issue than it was a tackling issue and a gap control issue, and they're very correctable. There's very correctable things involved with that, and we'll continue to improve.
Doing what you're able to do, though, in red zone, keep them out of the end zone, how big of a positive was that?
Well, it's huge for our guys, At the end of the day, you look at the 7 out of the last 8 games, there's over 30 points being scored. So for our guys to go out, they gain some confidence in what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it. We point out the good, the bad, the ugly. I always tell them the good plays take care of themselves. The negatives ones are things we've got to get corrected. That's what the next offensive coordinator's watching. So we've got to make sure we address those things and move forward and continue to install for the season. That's what we're in right now. There's some things that maybe we don't see offensively that our offense is doing a great job of giving us some looks and some things that we need to see to prepare us for the season. And we continue to work this situational football, 1 minute, end of half, end of game, 4 minutes, short yardage, goal line, red zone. I mean, there's so many things that we're going through and exposing the players to every day. They've got to have a lot of retention on those things as we move forward, because you can't continue to spend day after day on it. We've got to continue to move forward. And the younger players, especially in my experience, has always been the guys that struggle with that. And that's where you find out a lot about the maturity of a young man, how they're going to be able to handle it.
Well, were you at all surprised at how well, Malzahn said that Carl was basically unblockable, and that's really the first contact he had in quite a long time. Did that performance surprise you at all?
No, he's a good football player. He's a fast twitch, body quick guy. He's got very good instincts on blocks. He's got good hand placement, good pad level. He does what he's coached to do. So he's a good football player, and he's been involved in thud situations where we've been up, and there's really not a whole lot of difference in those situations as far as playing football. And if you can be a really good tackler and do thud all year, bringing your feet and staying off the ground and leveraging the ball the correct way, and certainly he's benefited from as many looks as he had a lot of thud reps in spring.
Did you see things on tape that reinforced that you've got some young guys that can help you real quick?
Absolutely. I think that, again, the young secondary guys, Jeremiah Denson, Carlton Davis, Javaris Davis, are all guys that have exhibited the ability to play on the edges in the Southeastern Conference. So I'm very pleased with that. Byron Coward's done some nice things for us. He's going to be a guy that's going to contribute. Darrell Williams has been a guy that I've been excited about. I think Richard McBride's going to be a good player in time. Right now we've got some older guys at the position that are a little bit more seasoned, but Darrell showed up a lot. Richard's done some nice things. So there's no question that those guys certainly have the potential, and some other guys too. We're very pleased with where we are.
Darrell's a guy that had to do a lot of coverage things in high school, was playing in space a lot. How much does that help him having to do some of the things you have to do at linebacker?
Well, I think that, again, he's obviously Josh Niblett and his staff at Hoover doing an outstanding job. So that says a lot about his coaching, and he certainly is a guy that's walked in here that's got some football knowledge and understanding of what it takes to be successful. So that's a compliment to Josh and those guys. But You know, again, he runs well in space, he plays well in space, but he's also a big man. He's a long, big athlete. And he's a guy that's, you know, shown some intelligence and some ability to be able to retain day to day with a lot of information being thrown at him in a fast game.
Do you have a timetable for where you expect to put some of the freshmen like Byron, like those freshman corners in with the ones, and just to get that rotation in there to see if they can hang with that?
Well, we have. I mean, that's, you know, when we're in the midst of practice right now, looking at different personnel groupings, different, you know, our rabbits group as far as our rush guys and different things that we do. You know, we're constantly mix and matching personnel to put guys in different situations. We, as a staff, we talk in terms of a guy going down, not necessarily that he's hurt, but we're going to pull him out and a guy's got to go step up in the middle of a series. So those are things we prescribe as a staff to stress our players a little bit, and they got to understand that when the number's called, they got to play well.
A guy like Williams, who's got a lot of experienced guys, how do you balance, okay, do you want to play him? Maybe he's ready to play, but he's not going to maybe play a lot, and you don't want to waste.
But those decisions will be made, Philip, during the season. You can't make that decision right now because injuries happen, different things happen. You can't ever make that decision. If a guy's good enough and he shows enough production to be able to help our football team, he needs to rep. And you as a coach need to find ways to get him in there and rep him, and that's what we try and do. And we'll make the decisions about all that stuff as the season goes.
Your linebackers have mentioned that based off practice performance, that's who's out there first, the first team. You talked about that approach a little bit, and maybe
It's
how that.
true for the whole defense. The guys that produce stay first team. The guys that don't go to second and third and whatever. The guys that are practicing are going to continue to move on the depth chart. Guys that don't practice, that's part of our evaluation. If you can't stay healthy, we can't count on you. So that's just part of the deal. And our guys understand that. They got to go out there every day and compete. They got to go out there every day and keep their spot. And we don't care where they're from or who they are and how many stars they got by their name. They need to go out there and compete every day. And we're going to coach our guys hard. And so that's what you do but we do have a lot of competition, which is our best motivator, right now, and that's been good at most positions.
Does that obviously, transfer over to game day where a lot of people assume someone can be a starter, but then
Absolutely. Guy didn't play well. He didn't deserve to play. Put somebody else in there.
Have you got a better feel for your third safety situation? Is Nick Ruffin?
Not right now. No, I don't. Right now, Blake Countess could be a guy that we could move back there. And Nick Ruffin's in that fold. Stephen Roberts has done some nice things. So we got to continue to progress there. We certainly do.
How much more comfortable does Stephen?
Tim Irvin's also a guy, Jay, that's in that fold. I'm sorry.
How much more does Stephen, does he look more comfortable at safety than he did at corner?
Well, again, we put a lot on our safety, so that takes a little time, and a guy, again, we started a freshman in LSU by the name of LaRon Landry, is pretty good. So it's not that it can't be done, but we put a lot on those guys as far as making calls but he is a guy that I think has made a bunch of plays last week in a red zone situation and made a nice interception coming off the hash. Done some nice things, made a really nice open field tackle in the scrimmage against a very good back, which was very difficult to do from the middle field. So I've been very pleased with his progress, and he'll continue to show, his commitment level to being a good football player. That'll be good for us, and that'll certainly help him and us.
What did you say at Pee Wee yesterday? Do you have some of that suddenness back?
Yeah, very pleased with him. It's always tough, more than anything, confidence of coming back off an injury like that and a guy that's never had a major injury before. So he's walking into a situation a little, obviously like anybody else, I broke my leg, compound fracture. There's a little bit of a timidness when you walk out there. And once you get those first couple hits, but very pleased with him. We were going to even pull him during the scrimmage. He ended up getting over about 25, 30 snaps for the scrimmage, which is good for him. And we'll continue to build on that. He hadn't missed a rep since the scrimmage. We practiced last night. We practiced again today, and he was full board the whole time.
Any other veteran guys that stood out to you?
Montravius Adams did a nice job in the scrimmage. Dontavius Russell played well. Casanova McKenzie had a very good scrimmage. So those were the guys. Justin Garrett continues to play well. Just to jump out at me right now. I was pleased with, obviously, Carl had a really nice scrimmage. Pee Wee did some nice things. We need more guys coming up front. Devereaux, Maury Swain had his best scrimmage since I've been here. So those are guys that we got to have a bunch in this league. Y'all know. It's just hard. You got to be able to have a bunch of big bodies up front to be able to sustain the grind of the league.
Can Garrett help you somewhere else besides Mike? If Casanova's playing really well
and Justin's played really well, can you find another spot?
Absolutely. No, there's no, we've had those conversations. We're gonna get our best two inside backers, I don't care who they are. And right now, you know, really the positions have a little different coverage description at times, but Justin's athletic enough to do both, and so is Cass. I mean, all of them are, so we'll be fine. But right now, Justin and Cass right now are probably playing better at the two inside linebacker position consistently through 8 practices. Still got a long way to go.
You talked about Tim Irvin and Will Swain, who came in January. Have they made progress?
Yeah, Tim's, you know, again, it's just consistency in his performance for a young player. It's hard. You know, they have a hard time coming in here every day, and the volume of information they're getting, the volume of information they're seeing offensively, the volume of stuff we see in special teams. Some guys handle it better than others, and Tim has some really good days. You know, I talked to him last night for a long time about his consistency and his performance. That's what we've got to get, and he certainly has the ability, and he's going to help us, this football team, this year. How much depends on how he continues to progress through fall camp. Maury Swain, a guy that I've got a lot of confidence in, had his best scrimmage Saturday. We've got to continue to work on pad level. That's the biggest concern I have as far as where he is right now. But as far as want to and effort and toughness, he's got it all.
Coach, what have you seen out of Kenyon so far? Rasheed Kenyon?
Yeah. Rasheed is a guy that's shown us some pass rush and has been a guy that we've been excited about, but I've been pretty pleased in the run game for the most part. I mean, he's right at 240 right now, which is what we want him to be, a little more than that, but he's carrying it well. He still has a good first step in the pass rush. Got to continue to progress in the run game, but certainly is a guy that can give us some juice on third down and pass situations. 1 minute.
Thanks, Will.
All righty, y'all take care.